Good afternoon, everyone. Blast from the past. Remember when the U.S. Mint reduced bullion coin supplies? They could only do gold or they could only do silver at one time. Fast forward, London Metals Exchange and COMEX add 65 new silver refineries that can settle futures contracts, meaning put the silver in your hand. Gold as well. The most physical metal ever moved into hands, not only gold but silver. The amount of new added suppliers is staggering, 235% increase. The question is somebody trying to corner the precious metals markets, or is there a physical shortage inbound? This is what hyperinflation looks like. Turkey's a prime example, coming to a country near you. As Americans seek economic protection during a highly political pandemic and nationwide shutdown, Bank of America is shining a light on gold to grow to $3,000, while analysts are calling for silver to reach $30 this year. Only one investment stands out: gold. Patriot Gold Group has no fee for life IRAs, where your IRA or 401k can be in physical gold or silver. At Patriot, work directly with an owner and avoid paying absurd broker fees. Call today or request a free investment kit. PatriotGoldGroup.com. The link's in the description box below. Now, the most modern example of runaway inflation bordering on hyperinflation currently in the world as we sit here in 2020, Turkey. This is the lira priced in gold. Now you have to remember, metals prices back around the year 2000, gold was around $500 or $600, but now running up around 2000. The conversion rate for the lira is 7x what it used to be. So look at these runaway prices. And as people in the individual countries understand that never-ending printing is eroding into a hyperinflationary event, much like the U.S. with the runaway inflation to catch up with us here. It's already catching up over in Turkey. U.S. just needs to wait another year or less, and we're going to follow the same. Doesn't matter what it costs. People are diving into gold. $7 billion worth of individual mom and dad purchases in 2 weeks. Once you realize that the money you're holding is worth less and less every day, you're going to convert it to something that actually has value. Whatever it is, a physical thing, a tool, seeds, gold, silver, tradables, fuels, whatever it is, you can hold a physical thing. Because Turkey's hit by these bank runs as well. Currency panic. People are even selling their cars and houses to buy gold. It was kind of like that rage in 2017. Somebody sold their houses and cars to buy Bitcoin. Same thing, because it looks like it's going to continue up into infinitum. Capital controls are not working in Turkey. And as we look from time here from the last 10 years, 2011, if I was traveling in Turkey and I had a US dollar, I could get about 1, let's say. But now if I go to Turkey and go travel, I get 7.4. That is a 7x increase. Now think about your life. If your food costs 7 times more than it does today, and a $3 thing of yogurt were going to cost $21, how much food do you think you would eat? This is exactly what's happening in Turkey. So you can see the crystal ball of what's about to beset the rest of the planet and the US dollar as well. So get ready for it. It's coming. And I'm going to take you back in the past here to, July, just about a month ago. The U.S. Mint reduced bullion coin supplies and production and deliveries because they said reduced work staff and people calling in sick, they could only mint silver or they could only mint gold. Not both at the same time. They had to choose A or B. But then if we go a little bit back further in time into March of this year, big shortage in physical delivery for COMEX. Now we're talking about the 100-ounce bars, the 5,000-ounce bars. But even to today, if you're going to try to buy a physical piece of silver, there's always a premium on it. 10%, 15% of the metal itself. So there's such physical demand outstripping what the supplies are. Now some institutions already had an enormous amount of supplies set aside anyway. And here's where we tumble down the rabbit hole with Alice and her happy tea. The institutional futures contract delivery, largest on the planet, out in London, and then we got the COMEX here in the U.S. Chicago Mercantile Exchange intertwined there as well. What they've done is expanded hugely the list of eligible refinery gold and silver bar brands that can deliver onto the contracts, meaning they didn't have enough delivery coming from their existing suppliers, so they needed to more than double the amount of anybody minting anything, just bring it, we'll take it, is basically what just happened. Which is a great sign, in my personal opinion, not investment advice, for gold and silver. If they're at this point here, you can sleep soundly if you have any of it. And this news release here, this is July 27th from the registrar's office. They were going to expand delivery options. This was a very low-key news release. They didn't want to alert the world. And here we go. Another check the box of something has just turned a corner here. The CME used to deliver 400-ounce gold bars. But because of the lack of those and difficulty acquiring a 400-ounce bar, what they said is, we can break it down into 100-ounce bars. You get 4 of those for your delivery contract versus the regular 400-ounce bar. We could even cut it down to 1-ounce coins. As long as you get 400 of them, we'll call it a delivery. What do you think? So the big bars, it's just like having a $100 bill. How about if I take a bunch of 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s and we'll call it even? Same thing here. So why is it all these central banks around the world and all the smelters and refiners and mints can't get together 400-ounce bars any longer? Because there's so much physical delivery going on. All time, record highest ever since the trading of these platforms began is this delivery happening. So going back to 2015, 16, 17, you can see the trend there, but gold contracts up, especially in 2020. And you say, well, that could only be gold. How about silver? The same trend continues, which means very much the same thing that was happening in Turkey. People want it in their hand. They're understanding that having access to metals or metal itself is going to hedge against inflation or hyperinflation. And the way the entire world is printing their way out of this conundrum of economic evaporation only lends more credence to this is going to continue up and up through 2021. Gold was up over 200% for the amount of deliverable mints, mines, and refineries. Well, silver here also. Used to only have 75 approved refiners that could deliver, but now they just added 65 more to 140 total. And then COMEX approved gold bar brand went from 69 to 231. What is going on? They're scrambling for supply. That's what's happening. And when you look around the world, there's other metal brokers, consolidators. This is the Singapore bullion market. They're consolidating across Asia to deliver back to either London or the U.S. Seems to be a global phenomenon. And with such jumps in approved refiners, the question really needs to be asked, is there such an upcoming shortage of physical silver that COMEX needs to approve every silver refinery on the planet? And that would include gold as well. So somebody's trying to corner the market again, just like what happened in the 70s, because the amount of physical demand is so outstripping right now. But there's so many companies that positioned themselves really well to acquire mass amounts of metal before all this is happening. Who had the crystal ball and was warned, take thousands and thousands and thousands of ounces of physical delivery of gold. You need it in the future. Because we see the economy collapse every single grand solar minimum. This time it's going to evaporate because they need to start a new cryptocurrency system with the reset of gold and silver backed currency along with the digital. This is just a repeat in history. You can join me on Patreon /Adapt2030 where I talk about some of these same issues. Climate, economy, and grand solar minimum history. It's a 400-year cycle in low solar activity. We should be preparing, but you're being distracted. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video, and I'll see you next time.